Hi. Can you hear me? I'm trying to set this up.
Okay, yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Hi.
Hi. Looks like I got myself signed in here twice somehow.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know how to fix that. I'm trying to see if you can see what
Oh, I think I got it.
Okay. Might be too far away. That's the computer, but then I thought it would be easier to hear me if I used my phone because I could have my headphone in. So we'll give some people a little bit of time to join. If any kids get on, I'll be in character. Oh my gosh, hang on. I'll be right back. Okay. That was almost scary. I forgot to put my eyebrows on.
Oh, no.
Let me put this. So how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
We haven't, I don't think we've met yet. I haven't been super visual because I've just been struggling with stuff with my husband. He's a really severe alcoholic, and I sent him back to rehab the week before last, and it's been a great week.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's like the chaos is gone and I have so much more energy and stuff. So,
That's awesome that you're able to kind of breathe a little bit.
yeah, to feel human. So it's kind of been a nice experience, especially the chaos I've had in my life for the last few years.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm glad you're here. We're going to paint together today.
yes. I better turn on my video since it'd be creepy to be painting to a blank screen.
No, that's fine. Hopefully somebody else will jump on, but you can go ahead and I don't know. We're going to paint a similar picture to this. We're going to paint a sunset. And so you can choose whatever colors you would like. Sunsets are all over the board as far as like colors. So pick your favorite for that. If you have only primary colors, I can teach you how to mix them if you don't know, or if you have colors already, like, I don't know what kind of paints you have.
I've got a whole tub here of paints.
Oh,
so
okay, good. So you
I got
don't
the
have
primary
to mix
colors out.
then.
Yeah, but I got primary
just,
colors out to start, but get the rest.
For people who have like absolutely no painting experience, I'm going to use or no paints at home rather. I'm going to use primary colors just because you can do any kind of colors with those.
Okay, sure.
But you can use whatever your favorite colors are. Just pick like 3 to use.
Okay. Well,
And I'm gonna
I'll
really
just
quick
stick
just
with
start pouring my
primary.
paint. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna, well, I should have poured my paint first, but I'm outside and I thought it would dry. I'm starting off, I'm just blobbing some white on one plate,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna put all my colors on the other plate.
Okay, I just grabbed one plate, so I'm gonna go grab another.
Okay, you can use one plate, it'll just, I get real sloppy. And I know it's unusual
It's nice
that
to have extra room.
Yeah. I came dressed as a princess because I do this for birthday parties.
Oh, okay.
I dress up like princesses. So it's not weird.
Okay. Well, I feel like you got way dressed up just for me.
No, that's fine. I love it. It's super fun, and I just got paint on my dress, so that's what I wanted to wear an apron for, and I missed it. Oh no, it's dry. Okay, good. So that's why I have an apron on, because I have my my princess dress on.
Do you have other princess dresses?
I do. I have Elsa and Anna, and I did Rapunzel because she paints in the movie. And then I have Belle and who else? Snow White.
Oh wow.
I think that's all. Oh, Ariel. I just got Ariel
Okay.
recently.
Oh. So how does the mermaid of that skirt work?
Well, I have her dress, like her big pink dress when she's a human.
Yes. Okay.
And then I have another mermaid. I wanted to add Ariel. I have an actual mermaid tail that I can swim in.
Oh, okay.
But I'm afraid to wear a wig in the water. So
yeah, for sure.
So I don't actually have an Ariel tail. I just made up my own mermaid. But yeah, that's super fun too. So I'm going to take the example down, but what we're going to do is really quick mix what colors we want to be using. So I'm going to mix a light purple, a light pink, a light blue on my plate that has just white on it. So I'm going to add some of my color to the white blobs that I did.
Okay. Oh, you did white blobs.
Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. Before you do that, with a clean, wet brush, paint your canvas with just water by itself.
Just water. Okay.
And I have a medium brush and I have a small brush. And those are the only things you're going to need.
Okay.
So I'm just literally like going back and forth, making my canvas a little damp. It helps to like blend the colors easily. And I'll set this up when I'm done doing this. I just get kind of rough with it, so it I don't want to knock over this little stand. I couldn't find my easel. I actually couldn't find my paints yesterday, and I like panicked. So I ran to because I don't paint as much as I used to, and so I like put them away because I was organizing them. Right. You ever do that? You ever hide things from yourself when you're like cleaning?
I do. I'm like, oh, I'll totally remember it's right here. No.
Yeah, no, I didn't remember. And I looked in the place that it was, and I think I was just in such a fluster, I missed it. Yeah. And so I ran to Walmart last night and got these really cheap acrylics. And then this morning when I was looking for my easel that I never found, I found my paint.
Oh, perfect.
I was like, oh, okay.
Darn it.
Right. So
I think these
at least this is like better paint though.
Yeah. I've had my paints that I've got here for like, I don't know, 15 years and they're still not dried out, and we pull them out every time we need a project or something.
Yeah, that's what I love about paint. Like it lasts forever. And I really like acrylic because it dries really quickly and it's water soluble. Although it does suck if you get it like if it dries on your clothes, you can't get it out. But for the most part, it's It's pretty good. Okay, so I've got my dampened canvas. Now I'm gonna mix my colors really quick.
Okay, so I just made a
So
big
I'm gonna just
white
mix
in
my
plates.
blue. Do what? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second.
I just made a big plop in the middle of my plate. Should I make
just
small?
spread it out, or like
Okay.
use like your brush to move a little bit over here.
Okay.
Like see
Okay.
how I just like added blue to that blob?
Yeah.
Yeah, just move it over and then get it to whatever color you like.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it a little bit on the darker side, but just not quite as dark as like on. There's no wrong way to do this.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be perfectly mixed. It can still be a little marbleized because it'll blend. We're gonna blend it on the canvas.
Okay.
I really love painting, but I almost never paint anymore just because I don't have a very big house and I have to like clean everything up when I'm done. I can't just leave stuff out because I have a little, I have a 6-year-old son.
Yeah.
And so, but it's something that I really love to do. And one day I want to have like a room that's just for like my stuff so that I can leave it.
That'd be awesome.
out.
I always thought I'm not artistic, but my work for Pride Week, they did a Zoom call painting thing where we painted along with a YouTube lady and painted like a rainbow tree. And it was a lot of fun. But I've been pinning YouTube things. I haven't actually gone back and done one, but it seems like there's lots of YouTubes out there that are pretty easy to do if you just follow.
There are.
What you're doing.
And you like Bob Ross. Like, do you ever watch Bob Ross?
My mom used to when I was little.
I love Bob Ross. We used to watch it really regularly on PBS. And when Emmett was little, my son, he he would get so entranced because he was so calm and it would always put him to sleep. And so we would watch Bob Ross like before he went to bed. Do you have any kids?
I have a 10-year-old daughter. She turned 10 on Monday, and a 13-year-old son. I invited my daughter because she normally likes this stuff, but she decided to play Roblox instead.
Oh, okay.
So
that's fine. She can watch it back if she wants to, or you guys could do it, like do some YouTube ones together. Yeah, that would be really fun.
She's actually really artistic, so
that's awesome.
Stuff.
That's really cool.
But she's been more into pencil sketches lately.
Do what?
She's been more into pencil sketches lately.
Oh, cool.
Like draw and animate and stuff.
Oh, that's neat. I love pencil. I used to draw a lot. When I got into college, I painted before with acrylics, but when I went to college, at the first college I went to, they had oil paint. They had art classes we were allowed to take. When I transferred schools, they didn't allow non-majors to take art classes because they didn't have enough space. And so I was an advertising major, and I couldn't take the art classes at my second college. But I took an oil painting class and I loved it. But that's the reason that I don't paint, because oil painting is super duper messy, and it has a lot of like, you have to have like a gel that goes in the paint and mix it, and like it doesn't dry very quickly, so you have to leave it sitting for a long time. And so
so you definitely need that space for that, huh?
Yeah. But okay, so let me know when you're done mixing your colors, and then we can jump in and get started.
Okay, I think I'm good. Ready to go.
So what I'm going to do is start with one color, which I'm going to start with blue, but you can start with whatever color you would like. And I'm going to just start like drawing lines across my thing, and they don't have to be straight, but like I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to put a blob there, a line there, a line here. And right now we're just kind of laying out the colors.
Okay.
And then we're going to go back and blend them. So that's as much blue as I think I want. I'm going to go back with my pink. Again, there's no wrong way to do this because all sunsets look different. That's why I love painting things in nature, because they are not perfect and symmetrical. And they can still look really realistic. However you choose to do them. And something that I learned in art class was nothing's ever a mistake. Like if you do something that you didn't intend to do, you're using your artistic license. It's not a mistake.
So my artistic license. My artistic license is different than my CPA license.
Yes. Artistic license, you can never be wrong. So your CPA, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know, it's not the exciting career, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's really cool though.
Working from home right now.
Yeah, my stepsister-in-law is a CPA.
And are you in where are you located? Where are you located?
Arkansas, actually.
Oh, okay. So how did you meet Christy or get connected with this?
I met Christy when I was in college. I did an internship with Operation Homefront, and she was my supervisor.
Oh, okay.
And so I started following her on Facebook, and her journey, like I was so inspired by her journey. And so I followed her for a long time. And then it inspired my own personal fitness journey. And when at the time I reached out to her, I wanted one-on-one coaching, but I just couldn't financially do it. So I kind of stalked her for a while and just did all the free things that she offered and tried to do it on my own. And then I got to a point where I just couldn't go anymore by myself. And then she created the Habits program, the group coaching, which was what we're doing now, but last year it was called the Fit Me Habits. Okay. And that was when it just changed my life.
Nice.
Really quick, I'm gonna go down here to the bottom. I'm gonna start adding, I want to do that yellow and red again because I think it's really pretty. So I'm gonna add some yellow. And then you're going to go all the way down close to the bottom. You don't have to go quite all the way down to the bottom because we're going to paint the very bottom black. But just get kind of close. I'll probably leave about an inch or two.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in my red just to make it almost like a corally, orangey color. And a little bit of white in it, or a little bit of the red and yellow into a little bit of white, just to lighten it up a little bit because it's such a heavy color. But yeah, so she changed my life and freed me from diet mentality that I had been living in for a really long time. And she inspired me to become a coach. And I did her business mentorship last year and was able to, I was just going to do it as a side hustle. But I was really miserable at my job. I worked at, I was a project manager at a marketing company.
Okay.
And she was like, what if you just left? And I was like, I can't leave. I have bills to pay. I can't do that.
Right.
And she's like, go do your budget and come back and see what your number would be, what you have to make to leave. And I did, and I cried because it gave me a freedom that I didn't think I had.
That's awesome.
And
yeah, there's no
yeah.
in your job.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was very stressful. It was actually, it was an important part of my journey because I wouldn't have done a healthy lifestyle change without it because I was so stressed and I was not dealing with it well and I was gaining a lot of weight and I was really mentally not doing well.
Right.
So yeah, she saved me in a variety of ways and
That's
inspired me to
awesome.
become a coach and then asked if I wanted to coach for her too and I was like, absolutely I do. So.
That's what I think my
All right,
husband's
so now,
problem is he needs to quit his job.
yeah, it was a game changer and most people feel really trapped by it. Like they feel like they can't get away, but it's just not true. You just have to have a plan. And it took me like 9 months. Like once I
Right.
decided to do it, it took time to like put all the pieces into place, but it's still like I needed it. I needed to. All right, so
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back and forth on the brush or on the paint and kind of smooth it out and blend as I go. Be
Okay, wet
careful, don't
brush.
go back and forth too many times because then you'll muddy. I'm using
Okay.
my like medium sized brush, my bigger one.
Okay.
And so I'm just gonna kind of blend the lines where the colors meet, go back and forth and kind of just find fill in the gaps and paint back and forth where the colors touch, and that will
Okay.
kind of start mixing the colors a little bit.
Do you want the brush wet or dry?
You want it a little wet if it's not wet yet.
Okay.
You don't want it like soaking wet, but you want it damp. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But yeah, just start. Oop, I just flicked myself with some paint. Start going back and forth where they meet, but try not to go back and forth over the body of the color, if that sentence makes
Yes.
sense. So that it
Yep.
doesn't, so that you leave the colors individual still too.
Okay.
I usually hold my paintbrush like this, but I'm trying to do it so that you can see what I'm doing. And there's, like I said, there's no mistake. Now, when I get down to like the purple and the yellow, I'm going to be really careful because they're actually opposites on the color wheel and they will make brown
Okay.
if I blend them too much. I'm going to rinse my brush a little bit just because it's got a lot of purple on it. And as I go closer to the bottom, I don't want to muddy it too much. So rinse if you need to as you go. And if you don't like how a little part turned out, you can always add a little bit more of whatever color in that spot
Okay.
to like brighten it up after and then blend a little bit more. But I definitely, it's one of those things that you have to be careful that you don't try to make it perfect because then you get
Right.
into like, you'll go over it and over and over it and over it and then it won't look good. So get it to where you're like, okay, that works and stop.
Okay. I think I've gotten there. Not quite
Okay,
what I
good.
want, what I expected, but it's definitely time to stop.
Yeah, when you put the black silhouette over it, it will make it better.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's bad. I just wanted more blue.
So
I think I'm definitely more pink and red based.
that's okay. Because like I said, sunsets are all different colors. And so like I accidentally grabbed a little bit of yellow and streaked it right here and I kind of like it. So I'm going to leave it. But I got a little tiny
Okay.
white spot. So I'm trying to like, but sunsets are all like all over the spectrum in color. So there's no wrong way to do this. That's why I love painting sunsets. It's very soothing and relaxing, but it like, it's, there's no wrong sunset. I'm gonna put a little bit more yellow at the bottom of this because I just feel like it got a little too red heavy in the very bottom. But then we'll get the black, and you're going to use your medium brush again to paint the bottom black. And it doesn't have to be straight across, and you don't have to paint palm trees either. This is where you can kind of use your artistic license too and paint whatever, like a silhouette of whatever you really like. You could do mountains. Mountains are really cool because you can do different layers. If you want to do them, I can tell you how to do that. Since it's just the two of us, if there's anything you want to paint, I can tell you how right now.
Okay. I do like the idea of mountains. Would you
We
be
can totally do mountains.
or would you still do the palm trees?
No, I can paint mountains on mine too.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. I just don't want to
palm
challenge
trees are easy.
just
If anybody, yeah, if anybody gets on and watches this back later, for the palm trees, just do different lengths or heights of straight black lines with your small brush, and try not to press too hard on your brush. Like I did it too hard on this palm tree, and I made the trunk a little bit too thick. But you can fix that. I got a little bit of paint on my tumbler. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over this really quick. Okay, all right, I'm gonna stop messing with it because I'm getting to that stage where like I could just keep messing with it forever. Okay, so we're about done. What we're gonna do is for mountains, you're gonna use your black, and you might want to get a little bit more white out because we'll do different darknesses. So this is going to dry. Let's let this dry a little bit before we start painting on it. So I'm going to get a little bit more white, and we're going to start with the lightest. And then, so that's actually the perfect way to start, because you want to start with the lightest shade of gray and maybe add a little bit of blue into it. And then we'll just gradually make it a little darker with the black. So it's perfect to use the same gray. You just keep adding black to it as needed.
Okay, yeah.
So right now I'm mixing my gray. And I'm going to add a little bit of blue, because when you see mountains in the distance, they always have like just a touch of like a bluish, like a steely gray color. So I'm going to make that kind of like steely gray blue. Might need a little bit more blue. I should have used a smaller brush to mix this, because now I'm making a mess. And we're going to layer them. Okay. So with this, I need to rinse my brush. That's crazy. I actually use a different. I have another medium brush, but it's like a pointy one. But I wouldn't use like a really super small one. So if you have, I would keep using the medium brush. But if you just mixed your paint with it, I would rinse it a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get a little bit of the gray on my paintbrush. This is the gray that I came up with. There's no perfect gray, but I just kind of made a bluish gray. And I'm gonna kind of draw in where I want my mountain. So I think I want my mountain like to start here and kind of go down and cut across so that I get all these pretty red and yellows. And so I still want to see like my different colors all the way down that I created, but my paint isn't quite dry yet. If your paint isn't dry, maybe give it another second. My cheat paints yesterday were dry by the time I got to this part, but these nicer, thicker ones are sometimes they take a little bit. Okay. So you don't have to go all the way down to the bottom with your gray. Just kind of sketch in where you want that first mountain. Again, it's a mountain. It's not, doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna layer them. Okay, so can you see what I just did? Where I
Yep.
kind of just made that mountain. Okay. And so now I filled in a good amount of it because that's where I'm gonna kind of layer my next one. So I'm gonna add a little bit more black to the same color that I just made and make it a little darker. It doesn't have to be our darkest one yet, but we're gonna only have one more darkness
Okay.
after this one. So it can be pretty decently dark. Okay. All right, so I just went a little darker. There's the gray that I made. So
Okay.
it's almost like a slate gray now. All right, and I'm gonna start again on this side. And I'm gonna sketch in another little mountain. And I'm gonna have it come up a little bit past the other one, and then maybe across a little bit. So you're just kind of layering the mountains. All the way across. Oh, that actually looks really cool right there. Right, do that. If you do what I just did and accidentally like blend it with that under gray and it turns out looking kind of neat, like you can leave that and make that another little bump on the mountain.
Okay.
Okay. So we're getting good. Okay, let me see if I can get you a little bit closer. It's kind of hard to see, but okay, so you see where I've like right here is where my colors blended a little bit, but I kind of liked it, so I left that.
Yeah, that does look good. Okay.
There's some up here. And now we're gonna go the darkest color. The darkest gray. And we're gonna get pretty close to black on this one.
Okay.
But not quite, because we're still gonna use some black to like do some pops in the front, in the foreground at the very bottom. Okay. All right, so I've got my darkest color on my brush. And this final one, I'm gonna kind of cut, I think I wanna put it in the middle. Like I want the tip of it to kind of be towards the middle and then to come down off to the side or maybe come up a little bit. However you want it to go. Like again, there's no wrong answer. That's why I love nature painting, because there's just absolutely no rhyme or reason for some things in nature, and you can absolutely get away from being perfect. I'm going to cover up most of my the bottom of my sunset at this point. And it's mostly dry, so I'm not mixing any extra colors in, which is nice.
Okay, I am definitely not dry, but it's kind of turning out a little cool to have some red through there.
Yeah, that will be cool. Because really, in reality, if there was a red sunset behind a mountain, like if there was different peaks or little things in the mountain, it would catch that light. So it would be really cool. If you're at home and watching this back and you want to do mountains too, well, it's probably too late because if you've been watching around or watching the whole time and just playing along, but you can also turn it sideways, turn it like landscape way, and then you'll have more room for your mountains.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, so we've got like varying layers of mountain now. We've got the darkest one in the front, medium in the middle, and then the latest one in the back. And now we're gonna take just solid black on our smallest brush. Well, I guess not on your smallest brush if your brush is super teeny, do the bottom little bit of white that's left if you have any white left. And I'm gonna do it straight across with like a little bit of bumpiness, like an imperfect straight line all the way across the bottom, as if I were standing on a ledge or something looking at this. I'm trying not to paint my table, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Okay, I'm just going to clean it one then. So now your whole canvas is painted. That little bit at the bottom is now black. And you can use your artistic license to sketch in some happy trees like Bob Ross. So I'm going to start at the bottom with my black. Actually, I'm going to get a smaller brush because this one's a little too thick. I'm going to use my smallest brush for this. It's really tiny. For my trees, because I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to go up and just kind of flick it. So these trees can be all different lengths, and that'll kind of give you the idea of like depth. And you might collect color on the way up. That's totally fine. Again, like highlights from, you're going to capture like highlights from the sun going down in your like forest that you're looking out into. But we're just creating depth is what we're doing right now. Let's start at the bottom and drag and kind of flick your brush so that you get a nice thin point at the top of your trees. If you're doing the palm trees, you're gonna paint just the bottom of your sunset black, and then you're gonna use the same technique to start at the bottom and flick up for your tree trunks. All different heights, kind of just varying. So now I've got my trunks. I'm gonna take my brush in my black again, and I'm gonna start at the top and kind of like dab my brush all the way down in like tree leaf pattern, so like a triangle pattern all the way down. And like if your brush is a little bit dry, it's okay. It will actually make, like my gray is still super wet, so it's picking up a lot of the gray. But if your brush is a little dry, it'll make some more interesting patterns for your leaves. And you're gonna do this for your palm trees too. So the palm trees have like, they're shaped kind of like this, but they have those big fronds, and you're gonna take your brush and just dab those fronds in. Just lots of practice, Ben. This is my son. He came to
Hi.
watch.
I wanted to ask you, aren't you gonna hose the watermelon and clean it?
Not right now, I'm not. Can you go back inside, please? Thank you. A friend brought us a watermelon yesterday, fresh from her
Oh, yeah.
farm. And he's really
Nice.
excited to eat it.
Yeah, my kids love
But
watermelons
this is,
too.
do what?
My kids love watermelons too.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
We got this watermelon cutter thing off of Amazon because I usually just cut them into little chunks and make a bowl full. And it makes it so much easier just to run that little little tool thing through it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Because I'd spend hours,
Watermelons are such a pain to cut up.
way too long.
Oh, I know.
Watermelons.
Yeah. Okay, so this one I kind of made I dragged some of the red out, but I'm gonna leave it because I think it's pretty. When I did my tree form. Again, I'm pulling a lot of black through this, or the gray through this black, but you can also use a hair dryer to help dry your painting in between layers if it's really wet. Okay, that's pretty good. Move on to the next one. Again, we aren't looking for perfection, just do the trees that are furthest away first, so that when you layer over them, like I didn't do that right, I did it backwards. I'll have to go back over this one tree and fix it so that it layers. But the ones that are shorter and further away, you want to paint those first so that like the layering as you work towards the foreground looks correct.
I think I made too many trees to cover my mountains.
You can take one out. It could just be a dead tree.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of like there might have been a fire near your mountain. You just kind of have to get creative with your story. So like I put that one, this one is actually further away than that one. So I need to go back and like build this one over the other one. It's not super noticeable, but it's weird. Our brains fill the gaps in and they can tell when things like that are a little off. So you want to just go back and slightly fix so that your branches all cover the one behind it. Because you'll see brush strokes and all that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
But they don't have to be even. In fact, it's better if they're not, because they'll look more realistic. Nature is not, things like this in nature are not inherently symmetrical. And we're almost done. As soon as we're done painting it, our trees. And if you like leave little gaps in the leaves of your trees, if you start getting up into your sunset, that'll be really cool that it'll like shine through. So if you tap and there's still a little bit of color shining through, leave it. Because it would be pretty. It is very hot to sit outside in a wig right now.
I bet.
I'm regretting this
It's supposed to be
decision.
95 here in Washington today, which is super hot.
Oh
for
my
here.
gosh, for you guys, yeah, that's super hot.
Yeah.
we've been in like the 90s and hundreds. I think it's only going to be in the 80s today, but it's super humid because we're
Oh, that's good.
landlocked. So it's
Right.
always like stupid humid here. But like that
is it
tree.
similar to Oklahoma there as far as humidity goes?
Oh yeah, it's not far from us. Where are you from? Oklahoma, or have you lived in Oklahoma?
No, some of my husband's family lives in Oklahoma, and we used to
Oh,
visit.
okay.
We used to visit him, and take a shower, and then you'd be sweaty as soon as you got out of
Yeah.
the shower. And
Yeah, I like strategically shower for that reason. Like I absolutely hate taking a shower and then going outside and getting sweaty. So like if I know like I'm not done my workouts yet, I might as well just go finish my workout and get it
Yeah,
in
for
before
sure.
I even bother taking a shower. Because if I take a shower now, I'm gonna get sweaty anyway. So
Right.
and so my trees look a little bit different. I feel like the further I went across the board, the better I was getting at like the tapping. So my trees on my right look a little bit cooler than the trees on my left. But again, they're different. They're just different trees. They're different kinds of trees. Using my artistic license. And you can always go back and like do this again, do it with different silhouettes. One of my absolute favorite, do it with different colors. I love doing sunsets with silhouettes. It's so easy and like relaxing. And I love how the colors kind of blend sometimes. It's just neat. Okay, so I'm going to call that done. I'm going to leave that the way that it is. And I don't know if you can see like one of my trees over here. My paint was a little wet still. So the red showing through.
But I think it was
There. And
good.
so I thought that was pretty. Yeah. So I just left it. So if things like that happen, like just leave them because by the time you're done, you might think it looks neat. There's no right way, there's no wrong way to do that. But yeah, so now we have like two very different takes on the, I don't know if you can see. Let me know if you can.
Yeah, because you can see
There it
both of
is.
them. Yeah.
Two very
Awesome.
different takes on a sunset with a silhouette. And yeah, you could put animals, you could put a person, you could put your family all holding hands. Like it could really be anything. So yeah, I hope
Yeah,
that was
awesome. Thank
fun.
you. My,
Oh yeah,
I
that
think
was
I'm
really
gonna
pretty.
do
Can you
on the
post a
trees.
picture of that?
Thanks.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
let me take a picture, a screenshot of us. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, my thing keeps blowing up. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Did it take? Hang on. Oh, there it went. Let me see if that's good. It's so bright out here. I might have moved. Oh no, it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you could take a picture of that and share it, that would be awesome. I would love
Okay,
to see
sure.
it too.
Share it on Facebook.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
great.
Okay.
But
Sure.
it was so nice to meet you
Yeah,
officially.
nice to meet you
And
too.
thank you for joining me for Painting with a Princess.
Yeah, no problem. I loved it. This is fun. I didn't realize I could do
Good.
yeah, so it's awesome.
Awesome. Well, yeah, you and your daughter could do it together later, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty, we have a
Well,
good
great. Thank you so much, Sherry.
yeah, no problem. Thanks.
You have a good Sunday too. Bye.
Bye.